Hey guys, it's Ihasnotomato here, bringing you a very special episode of Ihasnotomato Draws. And the reason for that is, I'm just going to say right off the bat, this is not a piece of fan art, but rather the cover to my my first ever comic that I've been making. You might have heard me talk about this occasionally in various videos and the podcast and AIM industry, stuff and like that, but for the last, I would say, 5-6 months, I have been working very hard on a personal comic of mine. For those of you who don't know, I consider myself primarily an artist, and an artist who is, interested and wanting to create comic books and stuff like that, graphic novels particularly. But this is my first ever proper attempt at it, and that is being released today, and I thought I would coincide it with a release of me drawing the front cover of the of the book itself. So yeah, this I won't lie. This little episode here is basically going to mainly be me just talking about that. So I'll tell you what it is right now, and if you're not interested, then that's fine. But I appreciate just your ears for a quick second. So I've been working on this comic for the last 5-6 months or so. It has nothing to do with TF2 or anything like that. It's a completely original story of mine, original characters and all that. And basically, it's about this girl called Kass. She's the girl on the left there, and she is a psychopath. My thing is called Kass the Psychopath. She's a psychopathic serial killer who wants to do nothing but kill people, and she ends up finding herself stalking one of her prey, her new prey, into a school scenario. It's sort of a mockery, of certain anime tropes and stuff like that. I do try and adapt somewhat of an anime style, but it's very much its own, story and things like that. Basically, yeah, it's just like a sort of a bit of horror, a bit of fun. There's it even becomes a little bit of a romance later on, but I won't talk too much about that just yet. I'm not going to spoil much of it for you. But yeah, this is a big passion project of mine. For those of you who know, I actually went away to Darwin for the last 2 weeks purely to work on it. I didn't go as a holiday. I went as a retreat to work on this full time, and I think the results are. I'm really, really proud of them, let's just say that much. So, if you're interested in seeing it, there's a link for it in the description. I'll probably be advertising it fucking everywhere, because it really is something I poured so much into, and I would really appreciate just, a look, at the very least. If it doesn't sound like your kind of thing, that's fine. But hey, maybe if you have a friend, just let them know. I'm sorry that I sound like I'm shelling out so much. I mean, it is free, by the way. I should mention that right off the bat. It's free to access and to view. You can see it at both my DeviantArt and my Tumblr. As of right now, tonight, I'm uploading the first 4 pages, and then from there, every Tuesday and Thursday, I'll be uploading another page. And the only reason that for those of you who think that's being uploaded quickly, that is because I've made many of the pages in advance, and for those of you who think I'm uploading them too slowly, if I upload them all really quickly, then there'll be no pages for a very long time, because it takes a while to make. Because I made this entirely on my own, I should mention as well. I'm the illustrator, I'm the writer, I'm the sketch artist, I'm everything. I'm everything. Well, yeah, I'm really, really proud of it, and I thought, to kind of coincide with its release, which I've been super anticipating, and I'm honestly a little bit scared about, I would record myself drawing the front cover, and yeah. Although, don't let the colours and stuff fool you so much. The comic itself is in black and white, because I wanted it to be released, within this millennia. Like I said, once again, I'm one person. I can only do so much. But, yeah, I think I personally think it's pretty good. I don't know what to say. I don't want to shell out too much, and like I said, if it's not your thing, I mean, I understand that probably 90% of my audience, I guess that's a bit assumptuous, but that you're here for the TF2 content and video games and whatever, and I get that, I do. This has nothing to do with video games or anything like that, and this doesn't interest you, so be it. But just bear in mind that I will be advertising it every now and then, because it is a very, very big project of mine. But I suppose we could talk a little bit more about the story itself. So we've got two characters on screen here right now. We've got Kass, who is the psychopath, on the left, and then we've got Clementine on the right. Clementine is probably, I would say, like the second main character, and she is actually the target of Kass. And she's kind of blissfully unaware that Kass has homicidal intents for her. And she's sort of like I wouldn't call her a bitchy type, but she's very kind of, she's got a big ego that she just kind of accepts, yeah, I guess. She spends most of her time on her phone, but her reality is about to be turned upside down, to sound completely generic. That's one thing about my writing, though, is I really try not to make things sound too generic and things like that. I really do try and, you know, break, I don't want to say, it's not stereotypes necessarily, although I do try and break stereotypes as well, but, you know, conventions. I try and break writing conventions and things like that a little bit, but anyway, I should talk about the drawing itself. As you can see, I've actually already drawn one of the main locations, which is the school, which is the bottom reference picture there. I drew that, a couple of months ago, yeah, and I'm using the colours there. It's set in autumn, or fall for you guys in America. It is also set in Australia, so it's actually set at the beginning of the year. I guess that kind of goes to show how long it's been. Where I started writing this when it was autumn here in Australia, and it is now spring. So yeah, it took a little while, to say the least. But anyway, yeah. I guess in terms of drawing techniques for this actual thing, I've used this technique in the last video, but whenever I'm using white, I like to put like a very harsh background. I use green because I'm just naturally drawn to the color green because it's my favorite color, I guess, as the background there. And that is just so I can tell where I'm drawing white on white. And that's just a nice little useful tip. It's just on the background layer, so you don't have to worry about that too much. And what I actually end up doing here with these trees, which I'm really excited to talk about, because I drew a lot of fucking trees in the comic later on. I mean, like, it comes out as that kind of like, oh wow, it looks kind of nice, but at the same time, I spent like literal days working on these fucking things. But I mastered a technique which I'm really, really happy with, so I'll talk about it in a second. I guess I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. Yeah, Kass is the kind of character who is, she's just a straight up, like, maniac, you know. She's a psychopath. She cares nothing about, like, class or dignity in any way. She just wants to kill people, and she's very blunt about it. And that's sort of, I guess, and not to break it down too much, but, like, you know, sort of where interesting moments come in, is that she's obscenely lucky, and, like, blunt. So, for instance, people will ask her, like, hey, what happened to this person? And she'll say, yeah, I fucking killed him in cold blood, and everyone will just laugh it off because they don't actually take her seriously because she's that fucking blunt. And it's this sort of like weird, like, how does she not get caught kind of scenario. I don't know how well I'm selling this. I don't know, just check it out. Just say, like, it's just the first 4 pages are out now. I don't know. I didn't script this. I never script these Ihasnotomato Dwarves videos because I'm always trying to make them like very organic. Sort of remnants of my old Let's Play days where I just used to talk and ramble on. I don't know. The thing about this particular, about this thing is that it means like a lot. And I mean like a lot to me. I've really, I've been working very, very hard on it. And I'm honestly nervous. I'm very nervous to release it. Last night I was, kind of having like mini panic attacks and almost thinking like, should I even release it? Like, is it worth it? Like, you know, it's kind of hard to explain it, but like I really get in my own head with this kind of thing. Like, this has been like my life for definitely the last 2 weeks, because it was like I was working on it full time. But yeah, oh man, soon coloring in the leaves one by one. But here's my little tree strategy, where I do lots of little spirals and circles, right, where I draw them in for the shading, and then I go back with the eraser and erase them a bit, and I do a lot of like fine tuning within that. And I think it makes it like a really nice sort of like effect where I don't necessarily have to draw every single individual leaf. I can still keep it like blocky, but it still gives the impression that like lots of leaves have different like light coming on it and stuff like that, and giving it all this kind of depth and things like that, which I'm really happy with. As you can tell, I'm really trying to keep to this like autumn theming here, this autumn color theme, because I think it looks really nice. And like that's like also kind of a bit of the anime stereotype thing. Is instead of it being like cherry blossoms falling or whatever, it's like a tree losing all of its leaves. And here I am doing the logo, Kass The Psychopath, which, by the way, for those of you who don't know, who haven't been following it, I didn't actually release like what the main character looked like or what the full name of it was, because I wanted it to be a bit of a surprise. So surprise, it's actually about a homicidal maniac who is bent on killing people. Anyway, so yes, this has been Ihasnotomato draws the front cover for my my big project. If you would grace me to just like check it out, then I would be immensely grateful. Like really, I would be. Any like kind of comeback or criticism, or like just like if you think this isn't for me, but maybe you know a friend, I would seriously appreciate it so much. Yeah. Anyway, so that was my little shill game, I guess, for a bit, even though I'm not benefiting money-wise at all. But anyway, so yes, I've been Ihasnotomato. I really hope you enjoy this. I hope you check it out. Remember, it's going to be updated every Tuesday and Thursday, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.